Well, this Juneteenth, we are hearing from a history-making Air Force pilot. Lieutenant General Richard Clark is the first Black superintendent to lead the U.S. Air Force Academy. He's working to train young cadets and ensure that they get the same opportunities that he did. And Lieutenant General Clark is here in Studio 57 with us. How does that feel to be introduced like that, a history-making pilot?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like me. I'll just say that. But you know, I'm really honored to be in the position that I'm in. I went to the Air Force Academy, graduated in 1986, and being there now really gives me a chance to sort of pay it forward, you know, and to help so many people, because I've had so many people throughout my career just lift me up and give me the opportunities that I've had. So it's really an honor to be back there.
You have been a longtime advocate of diversity and inclusion, and you said something in a previous interview that I thought was really interesting. You said, and I'm paraphrasing, this country is changing.
Yes.
This country is getting more brown. It's getting more diverse. And if we continue to pull from a limited pool, then it's going to weaken the military.
Absolutely. It is, I call it a strategic imperative, and not just me, a lot of people do, because we are getting more diverse, and if you're going to look out, you know, 10, 15, 20 years from now, if we don't start really opening up the entire population for us to draw talent from, and there's talent there, we limit ourselves, and it will weaken us. And it's not just the military, it's across all segments of society. So we in the military have traditionally been fairly diverse, very diverse, but we have still work to do there.
You mentioned that the military historically has been diverse. In fact, as you know, people who look like us have been fighting for this country going back to the Revolutionary War. But you had an opportunity to meet some Tuskegee Airmen. And when you hear their stories and you understand the immense pressure that they faced, how the military at the time said, well, you know, let's make these tests so hard that these black guys can't pass it. And yet they did, and went on to have the tremendous record that they did fighting in Europe. What was that like for you as a pilot, meeting this earlier generation of pilots?
Inspiring. And I've studied them. I've met several of them throughout my career. And, you know, they fought for the right and the opportunity to serve their country, even in the face of discrimination and the adversity that they faced. But they did it because they loved their country and they wanted to contribute. And so throughout my life, I've had many opportunities. The most memorable was about 5 or 6 years ago. I was a 2-star general. I was in charge of 8th Air Force, which is our bomber command. And we oftentimes went to the Tuskegee Airmen conventions, and I was at one, and our then Chief of Staff, General Mark Welsh, was the guest speaker. But before the dinner, he pulled me aside and said, "Hey, Rich, we're gonna put you in for your 3rd star."
Wow.
And, you know, which was amazing. And then to have that happen there was just incredible. So the rest of the night, I'm talking to some of these Tuskegee Airmen. It was just like surreal. But then when General Welsh was giving his speech, there came a point where he goes, "Where's Rich Clark? Can you come up here, Rich?" And he, you know, I'm like,
oh my God, what are you gonna do?
And he, I had no idea. And he stood me in front of the podium, and he looked out at these. There was about 15 or 20 Tuskegee Airmen, their originals, and he said, "To all of our Tuskegee Airmen, when you were escorting those bombers in World War II, would you ever imagine that they would one day be commanded by a black man?"
Wow.
And these men, they started clapping, and they're
clapping
up.
For you, General.
Well, so I thought about that, and I was so humbled and embarrassed, honestly. But I think they were clapping for their legacy. They were clapping for one person that represented what they fought for, that represented the path that they laid down. And I was so, you know, just, I mean, I got teary-eyed, but really when I reflect on that, what that moment meant to me was so many people that came before me did things to allow me to be here, and I have to pay that forward. I have to blaze that trail that they blazed for me. And they're just an incredible group of men, and I'll always look at them as heroes.
You know, General, I know you got to run, but I have a question that I've been meaning to ask you. I wanted to ask you this back when we were at the other show. In your mission to educate these young future officers, you know, I've noticed that there has been with the previous generation of officers that has come up, there's this tilt. There has been this tilt towards things that I think are un-American. In other words, you've seen people like General Mike Flynn do things and say things that you know don't come from the lessons that he learned when he was a young cadet. I think he was an ROTC grad, but even when he was a young officer. How are you ensuring that, and yet we've seen others, like General Mark Milley, for example, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, say, this is who we are, this is what we do, this is how we're going to move this nation's military forces to promote inclusion and diversity of thought and ideas, and not say the things or behave in the way that we've seen some other officers behave. What are you doing to ensure that that mission continues?
Now, that's a great question, Vlad. And at the Air Force Academy, our #1 goal is to develop leaders of character. Above anything else, before anything else, our future officers have to demonstrate a level of character that I think prepares them for the service that they're about to take. And when we talk about what a leader of character is, it's a person who lives honorably in every aspect of their life, a person who lifts others to be their best possible selves, and a person that elevates their performance every day. They're always striving to get better. But they do that all not for their own sake and their own advancement, but they do it for the good of the team. They do it for the good of their teammates. And that has to be instilled. And sometimes it takes effort to do that. It takes a will and a desire for that person, but also from our academy to give them those opportunities to understand why that's so important. So, and we don't expect that just from them while they're at the academy. We expect it from them the rest of their lives after they leave, because they'll always represent our country, and we need them to have that level of character when they do.
Thank you very much, General. It's so great to have you here. It's such an honor to meet you, and we're really, really proud.
Well, I was honored to be here. Thank you both. And
thank you very much.
Thanks for what you do as well.
Thank you, General.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Lieutenant General. Sorry, yes. Look at you with the 3rd star there. Lieutenant General.
You know.
I love saying that. Richard Clark, thank you, sir. We appreciate it.